month, my parents will be celebrating their 45th wedding anniversary. And my dad booked a family trip, not your typical thing to do for your anniversary, but booked a whole family trip. So me and my four siblings and then all of the grandkids, he's going to take us out there on a family cruise. And a couple weeks ago, I was helping my parents hook up the thermostat and stuff like that. And my mom gave me her phone to hook up the thermostat. And I discovered that she was having an affair.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Dude, I'm sorry you saw that. I'm sorry that's happening. I'm sorry, all of it.
Yeah.
So what happened right after that? Did you do anything? Did you say anything?
Nope. Haven't told anyone. Haven't even told my wife. Haven't told anyone. So I'm just trying to seek counsel on where I would go first, whether it be pastor or siblings, or my wife and I live right next door to them, and so we're a lot closer.
To your parents?
All of us are. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So, man, there's so many avenues here. First and foremost, before the day's over, I would tell your wife.
Yep.
That secret's going to eat you alive from the inside of your chest, inside your own home, inside this secret world that you and your wife have called being married.
Yep.
Right? And the devastating part about that for your wife is she can tell something's bothering you, and she's probably attuned and is going to blame herself and try to solve something.
Well, my wife, I think she has her own suspicions about my mom's affair.
Okay.
And so
let's sit down.
Had this feeling in the back of our minds, and then this was the very first, this is actually happening, and we can probably say that it's been going on longer than what we think it may have actually, because she's always been protective of her phone and hiding it for the last couple of years.
Okay. I'm going to lay out a couple of scenarios for you, but I want to give you a couple of 30,000 foot weather balloons that I want you to keep in the air at all times. Let's call them satellites out in space, okay? Satellite number one, I want you to look at your wife and say, whatever's going on next door, my parents' house, we will not let into our marriage. Okay? So make that commitment to yourself and make that commitment out loud to your wife. Looking her in the eyes, holding her hands if you can. Okay? Because y'all are up for a rocky road. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, satellite, and this is going to sound nuts, you never, even if it's your parents, even if you're in the house and it's down the hall, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. And here's what I mean. Your dad may have had his suspicions for years too.
Yep, I would imagine so.
Your dad may quasi know about it and have chosen to look the other way. Or your dad may be so unaware that, who knows? Your mom may have had affairs in the past. Your dad may have had affairs in the past that they worked through on their own that you and your siblings know nothing about. So it's just holding it up. And here's the important part. It's less about what you want them to do. It's about who you're going to be. And so who you are going to be is a guy who doesn't make up stories, but who just decides, here's what me and my wife are going to do next. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that leads me to the third thing. The only person you can control in this situation is you.
Yep.
And so my question for you is, it's not, you have a pastor, so it sounds like you're a person of faith?
Yep.
Okay, so if your faith is in any sort of a proximity to mine, rule number one is if I have a problem with somebody, I'm going directly to that person.
Okay.
And
I'm not the best at confrontation, so that's where.
So write it down.
I feel like
write it down.
One of my siblings. Go ahead.
Write it down and read it to her.
Okay.
I would write it down and sit out on my mom's front porch. I would take my mom to coffee. I would whatever. And here's what's important about these conversations. It's not a matter of asking. It's not a matter of, so are you going to? It's a matter of you saying, here's what I saw. Here's what I now know. Here's what my suspicions have been for a long time. And here's the important part. Here's what I'm going to do next. So for instance, I'm going to give you 48 hours to tell Dad. And then I'm going to tell my father, because I'm not allowing what you have done in your extramarital relationship to impact my relationship with my dad. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so instead of, are you going to tell him? What do you mean you're not going to? Like you're taking your agency and handing it across the table to a person who it appears from the outset, from what you found, lacks integrity. So I'm not going to outsource my values to somebody like that. And so whenever in contrary to popular belief, I sometimes I'm real good at it, and sometimes I'm not good at these type of confrontations. I've often written things down, and I'll tell the person, I don't want to stumble through my words, and so I'm going to read this directly, and then we can respond with a conversation, but I want you to wait until I'm done reading. And I've never had a person tell me no.
Yeah. The toughest part is that I'm closest to my mom than I am with my dad. I'm close with my dad, but nothing like I am with my mom.
Sure. Which in a weird way makes it all the more important for you to be the one who has this conversation. But I honestly would not bring my siblings in yet. I think just going in order, I'm going to talk to the person. I'm going to set whatever ground rules I want to. I will never tell Dad. It's up to you, but I'll always know. And we're going to go on this family trip with all the grandkids and smile and wave, but I'll know it's what's going on. Or we're not going to go on this trip. Or you have 48 hours to come clean to Dad, and then y'all two can come sit in our living room. Like, you get to decide which part of this, what you want to do next. I'm going to give you 48 hours, and I'm going to tell Dad, and then I'm going to tell our siblings, because I can't carry all this by myself.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're the kid, so it's not your job to carry all of this for her. She's the adult. I mean, you're an adult too, but she's the parent, right?
Yeah.
And hold space for, she may blow your mind with something. Your dad's been cheating on me for years. Your dad's frighteningly abusive. Your dad, like, who knows? I've heard every story under the sun sitting with people in the middle of these conversations.
Yeah.
But the question I want you to keep asking yourself is, what kind of man do I want to be now that this grenade has gone off in my living room?
Yeah.
So what did you find? What did you see?
Pictures, flirty text messages, I love yous. Wish I could stop by and kiss you. Just everything I wish I hadn't have seen.
Yeah, one from the integrity part of it all, and then one from, like, that's your mom, right? Like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. So what have you been wrestling with? When you like, I know you've run these imaginary conversations in your head over and over. What do they sound like?
My biggest thing is, I'll take your advice and bring it up with my wife first off right away. But do I just let the family have one last trip of enjoyment and not ruin everyone's trip?
Can I pause you right here?
Yep.
You have ruined nothing.
That's true.
You are responding to a bomb blast. You did not detonate it.
Yep.
And regardless of what your siblings say, I can't believe you did this, what your mom says, you're going to ruin everything, I need you to hear my words. You have ruined nothing. Now, if you go blast this all over the place and you send out Facebook requests, like next door, I mean, you could, and yes, you will have ruined stuff because you didn't handle this with integrity and respect. She's still your mother, and I'm still going to honor her, even though she's doing a dishonorable thing. But, bro, you are simply responding to a grenade that somebody else pulled the pin on.
Would you blame me if I waited until after the cruise to confront her or tell anyone else?
This is it. I'm not going to sit in a seat of judgment, man. I'm going to sit here with you. The challenge I would put before you is, do you become part of the lie? Or when your dad, sobbing into his own hands, looks up at you and says, "When did you know?"
Yeah.
And you let me spend $50,000 taking the family on a farce, on a charade. I want to be able to have that conversation with integrity.
Yeah.
Or, and here's the other thing. You can look at him and say, "Yeah, I made a call, Dad. I got put in an impossible situation and I made a call. Maybe it was a bad call. I'll own it. I'm a grown man with my own house, my own family. I made a bad call. Or I made what I thought was the right call. I wanted everyone to have one last go round before this thing imploded."
Yep.
And so it's you just taking full 100% ownership of, here's what I'm going to do next. And I'm going to live and die by those consequences.
Gotcha.
Knowing your siblings, what would they? It sounds like y'all have a pretty tight family. Is that right?
Yeah, very tight.
So what would
my dad had he had an accident a couple years ago, and we had just me and my siblings talking, and this thing did come up in the moment of, like, we all four of us had our suspicions. And so but we figured it was in the moment. We were focusing on my dad then, and that wasn't the time to bring this up.
Well, and do what's right for you and your family. And here's what I mean by that. Obviously, you got to talk to your wife. That's like, I'm not gonna let somebody's lack of integrity foster a space in my house between me and my wife. There's enough things trying to pull us apart every second of every day anyway. And maybe you sit down with your mom and you let her know you got 48 hours to tell Dad, or I want you to know that I saw everything. I've had suspicions for years. Your other kids have had suspicions for years. I'm going to rally everybody together tomorrow, and we're going to figure out if we want to be a part of this 45-year celebration, if we want to go on this thing. You don't get a vote in that, Mom, but I want you to know that we're all going to circle up. And maybe you bring the kids in too. I mean, the kids, they're not kids, they're all adults. You bring your siblings in too. The thing I'm thinking here is it a heartbreak on top of a heartbreak for your dad to be the last to know?
Yeah.
Or does he have a right to know? And again, man, if you and your wife have suspicions, if you and your siblings have suspicions, I mean, your dad's in that house, unless he's just a clueless guy.
He can space out sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, dude, I hate this for you, man.
Yeah. And he's worked hard his entire life, built a incredible business, and they're very well off because of his hard work. My mom's been home, raised us, and then just been home keeping things together around the house.
Yeah. And so there's a hard truth to that, which is it took both of them to build this life, right?
Yep.
And the hard part is it can take two people to build a pretty extraordinary life. I'm going to be the anchor point at home so you can go out and go hunting for big game and bring it home to the house, and I'll be here, right? They serve as an anchor point to each other. Two people can build something and one person can burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
And that stinks.
Do I talk with my mom and all that and then just completely step away, or just so that I'm not in the center of it since it's not my marriage, or how would you go about afterwards?
I think you let them both know I'm not going to get in between you two, and either one of y'all can stay at my house, or maybe you can look at your mom and say, Dad can come over and stay here if he wants to, or if you need a place to stay, if he throws you out, you're welcome to stay here. I think it's letting your parents know y'all are both my mom and dad, and I'm going to treat both of you with honor and respect. But I'm not going to be your marriage therapist. You're not going to call me and talk bad about each other. That's not the role I'm going to play here. And that's going to take an incredible amount of discipline.
Yep.
And expect this to not go well. Okay. Expect her to say, "Who do you think you are? I'm your mom. You're destroying our family. You're going to ruin everything." Expect all of the weight of this to be put on you. It may not happen, but just expect it. Or let me say it this way. Expect to not feel good even after having right conversations. Nobody's going to win here.
Nope.
And so nobody's going to feel great after the initial conversation. You might feel some relief, but you're going to feel guilt and whatever your mom decides to throw at you. You know her well. What is she going to say? Like, just put yourself in her shoes. Is she going to bury her face in her hands and say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you saw that. I'm so sorry. It's been going on for years." Or is she going to attack you? Like, who is she?
She won't attack. Nope, she won't attack.
Okay.
I think she'll just be ashamed and show a lot of remorse and stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I guess one of the biggest things that's been burning a hole in my mind is like, what's the plan? That's what I want to ask her is, what's the plan?
I want you and your wife to co-create the plan for y'all. You don't get a vote in your mom's plan. You get a vote in what you do next. And so your dad may choose to say, like, "Dude, I'm 45 years in. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. It is what it is." He may say, "This stops and whatever. I need some time to separate." He's well off. He may say, "I'm getting a boat and I'm moving to Alaska, dude. I'm going to fish the rest of my days." Like, who knows, right?
At what point, you had mentioned earlier about bringing, like, if my dad needed to come over and stay over at our house, at what point is that short-term versus long-term and letting that get too far into my own marriage?
You and your wife come up with the boundaries before you talk to your mom. And so if you and your wife agree he can stay here for a week, then when he comes, then it's again, all of this is asking you to, you have now become the adult in the room. Dad, you can stay here for 1 week. Me and wife and our kids, like you can stay here for 1 week. I'll help you find a place. I'll help you get your feet underneath you. I know this just knocked the wind out of you. You got 1 week here, or you got 2 weeks here. Or, Dad, we're just not in a place where you can come move in right now. We don't even have an extra bedroom, but we can do X, Y, and Z. I'll go with you to help you find an apartment. Or Mom's the one that's got to go. But have those boundaries firmly set. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself agreeing to something in the heat of an emotional exchange that then you're going to have to go back and explain to your wife, and then y'all are going to have a rift in y'all's house. And that's what I mean by starting this whole thing by looking at your wife and saying, this is going to impact me personally. It's going to impact you personally. They're your next door neighbors, right?
Yeah.
If you weren't even related to them at all, but there was just this sweet couple that lived next door to you, and this happened, it would impact it would impact you and your wife, right? So it's staying committed. We're not going to make any decisions, anything. You know what? Now that I'm talking out loud, I'll leave you with one piece of wisdom that one of my most important mentors of my life, John Thompson, he taught me this at a young age as a leader, is to never make emotional relationship decisions, whether with an employee or with a friend, in the moment. So he always had a 24-hour waiting window. If he was talking to you about letting you go, if he was talking to you about a promotion you didn't get, if he was talking to you about a heart, like whatever it was, he'd always say, we'll circle back, we'll put time on the calendar tomorrow, and because he always wanted space between, this room feels real heavy, or you gave me a compelling emotional argument or whatever, but I got to have some space. And I've used that through most of my career, most of my life. I just need I need a little bit of space so I can exhale. So make a commitment to you and your wife. Neither of us will agree to anything without talking to the other person, and we'll make the call the following day.
Yeah.
Right. So if your mom sobbing, "I screwed up, I can't believe this, I'm so embarrassed, can I come stay with y'all?" You say, "I'm going to need to talk to my wife about it."
Yeah.
And we've agreed to make decisions together moving forward because it's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
And that just gives you some space. But I think that just setting that up, you and your wife set up whatever boundaries you want to set up, and how we're going to approach this thing, kind of a tiny little framework, which sounds so nerdy, but what most people will do is they'll get pissed off, they'll go next door, or they'll be heartbroken or whatever. They'll have some big emotional state. They'll go sit down. The other person will have an emotional response, either sobbing, I've screwed up, or they'll attack or whatever. And they'll end up agreeing to, yeah, you can come live with us for a while. And that while turns into 1 month, 2 months. And then the other parent is like, I can't believe you. Not doing any of that. I am in control of what happens next. Me and my wife together are going to make decisions.